On this episode, I'm going to help you achieve your New Year's resolution health and fitness goals for 2023. We're going to go into the reasons why 80% of people fail at their New Year's resolution within just a few weeks, but we're also going to give you the blueprint that you're going to use today to help with your current New Year's resolution goals and any other health and fitness goals that you have in the near future. So let's get into it. There are many reasons why the majority of people do not manage to achieve their goals in the new year. One of the main reasons is that they set very unrealistic goals that are not sustainable in the long term. For example, you've probably done this because I've done it too. You want to get fit in the new year. You feel extra motivated within the first few weeks of January. You decided to go to the gym every single day. Every single day you decided to go to the gym and work all the different muscle parts of your body. You decide you want to do some cardio. And even on days that you're not lifting or doing some type of cardio, you've committed that you're going to go in and do some light stretching. Now, unfortunately, I'm not a top level athlete. And I hate to say it, you're very not likely one too. It's a very, very small percentage of people who are. So going to the gym every day is actually a recipe for disaster. You aren't giving your body any time to rest and recover, and you'll quickly get burnt out. After a couple of weeks, you no longer want to exercise because your body would be hurting so bad. You've probably experienced it. I've experienced it for sure. Whenever we take extended time off between workouts, we're talking about months, if not several weeks to several months. That first day back, you're sore for probably 3, maybe 4 days. And because of this, because of that extra soreness and your body's not recovering, you're giving up on your New Year's resolutions altogether. Again, a lot of this has to come down with the structure of how you're setting your goals. And again, 80% fail, but 20% actually manage to stick it out. They achieve their New Year's resolution, and their health and fitness goals don't go about things this way. Okay, they do not decide that they're going to just go every single day all in on one thing. That is a very big, drastic change from doing nothing to being incredibly active. Now, your body is smart, but your body doesn't heal as quick. We're not a superhero. And, of course, we can't heal as fast as, as we develop damage in our muscles from exercise. Instead, this group of 20% is choosing a more sustainable route. And that's an example. It's doing a self-assessment. It's actually determining where you're currently at. So that being, I'm going to bring out the board here for those that are visual learners. So first thing that you want to build a fitness goal. So again, we'll start here and we'll say it's fitness or going to the gym. Now, if we do a self-assessment, very likely we haven't gone to the gym, any more than probably once, maybe twice within the last 3 months, we'll say. But for most people who are choosing this route, they're going to start off at 0. Okay, they probably haven't gone to the gym in a couple months. So whenever we look at going from 0 to maybe we have the goal of going to the gym or working out or exercising, and there'll be variations on this. Maybe we'd like to do some resistance training, go to the gym, 3 to 4 days of the week. And that's resistance. That includes weight training, band training, body weight exercises as well. Maybe we want to do some cardio on the off days or cardio within those days as well. So maybe we're looking at in fullness, 7 days of at least 30 minutes. How do we go from 0 to there and to there? Again, unsustainable route is choosing to just go for it right away. Within 2 to probably 3 weeks, you'll go through so much oxidation that you're going to have so many free radicals that your body's going to produce as a response to over-exercise or to exercise that it's not going to know what to do. So that's going to lead increased soreness, and you're not giving your body enough time to recover. So it's going to increase the likelihood of injury. Now, this injury can be acute, meaning that you go to do a movement and you feel or hear a muscle tear. That is an acute injury. Or you develop or re-aggravate some type of chronic issue that's always been there. Maybe there's some biomechanical issues that as you're getting more movement, it's actually causing some aggravation to the area. So a sustainable route is not going from 0 to 100 miles an hour. A sustainable route is actually going at 0 and then creating a goal that's maybe in 6 months, 6 to 9 months. I think that's pretty conservative and generous. That gives you enough time. But within 6 to 9 months, that's your goal. You would love to be exercising resistance training 3 to 4 times a week. And then 7 days, just 30 minutes of cardiovascular activity. That can just be even daily walks outside around the neighborhood. As long as you do it for 30 minutes, there's a lot of great benefit to it. But again, you're starting at 0. So you need to break this up. So in the first 1 to 3 months, maybe your goal is to actually get to the gym once a week. Okay, that is sustainable. Okay, as long as you're hitting it once a week, you're building that repetition. You're building that time in your schedule that you're devoting to it. You absolutely can do it. Maybe it's just doing some cardio 2 days out of the week. Again, at least 30 minutes. Same thing. It's something that's manageable. It's also giving your body enough time between sessions to heal and to recover, because your body needs to be able to prep itself for the next exercise. Whenever we see people that jump right into this, they actually develop too much cortisol levels in their blood. Now, cortisol is a stress hormone. It's there as a response to injury, to micro injury that your body needs through exercise, but your body is able to regulate it back down whenever that injury response has removed itself and tissues are stronger. However, if you jump again right into it, you're elevating those cortisol levels to a level that unfortunately isn't sustainable and actually leads tissues to be weaker. And you have elevated chronic cortisol levels, chronic stress, you actually are putting yourself at risk for an injury. So this is why we always tell people, exercise is good, but make sure you're listening to your body. So say phase 1, you hit, again, within the first 1 to 3 months, you just want to go to the gym 1 time a week. If you can do that, and you consistently do it, then jump up to the next phase. So again, this is technically months 3 through months 6. You want to get there. So once you cut it in half or double it, now you're going to the gym 2 times a week. You are now about halfway to your goal. Your body is doing better, you're feeling stronger, you're able to manage the time, you're able to manage the stress that it's putting into your schedule in order to do something that is actually advantageous for your health. And then again, with cardio, maybe we're looking at doubling it again. Maybe you're doing 4 days of at least 30 minutes. Okay, this is a great example of how to actually create out sustainable goals. You're starting at 0, there's your intake. Within months 1 to 3, you're going to the gym 1 time a week. You're doing some cardio 2 days out of the week. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it is way more than nothing. Then months 3 through 6, again, you're trying to reach this end goal, which will take 6 to 9 months. Double the amount of time or double the frequency if you're going to the gym, go to 2 times a week, increase double the cardio 4 days a week, sustain that for 3 months. Okay, and that's towards your end goal. And this is what most people want to get to. But actually, you're going to find the greater health benefit in more time and ease in your schedule right here. Okay, resistance training 2 days a week and being active with some cardio 4 days a week. Your body's probably going to like that a lot more than out here. But if you want to strive for it, absolutely go for it. And this is a simple blueprint you can do to make sure that you're hitting your fitness and your gym goals for 2023. Now let's flip it. The other part is diet, okay? Many of us know there are a number of things that just are not healthy for us. And the first thing that we commonly go to as far as something we want to cut out in our diet is sugars. So same thing, we want to reduce our sugar intake for 2023. Best way to do it is to start an intake, okay? It is something that you got to do a self-assessment about. You can do this on a weekly basis. You can do it on a monthly basis, but pick something that you know that you need to cut back on that is high in sugar. Okay, and I'll pick one that is really popular. Pop, AKA soda, AKA cola. Depending on what part of the US you're in, this is all the same thing, but we just talk about it a little bit different. So let's say, for example, within a week, you are drinking a 12-pack. You probably can drink a 12-pack, in a few days, but let's just keep the math simple. So in 1 week, you're consuming 12 cans of, again, pop, soda, or cola. You eventually would like to get to 0, okay? Now, sugar is really difficult to work with, okay? In that essentially it's like jet fuel for your brain, okay? Your brain metabolizes sugars, all the different types of them, carbohydrates, simple sugars like this, and other ones that are fermented, oligosaccharides. It's definitely something that your brain, though, loves sugar. So with anything you eat, your body, you take it in, your brain will metabolize it, and it'll metabolize it at a speed where then it's asking for more sugar because it likes it. So sugar, your brain acts like a drug with it. So when going through this, adding or removing sugar immediately from your diet, there's a lot of people who actually have considerable amounts of withdrawal and shaking because their brain is so used to having this high octane style fuel that now you're removing it. Now it's having to use other items that it considers slower. And so many people will get brain fog or fatigue or other, gosh, what's a good one? Headaches. People will get headaches when they start removing sugar. So it's definitely something that we want to do this in a healthy manner without having any negative effects that then causes a relapse, again, back to drinking at this 12 can amount. Now, our goal is to get to 0. Again, I think this will get and be possible in 6 to 9 months, but it's going to take some time. So let's break this down into our phases. Within the first 1 to 3 months, we go from 12 cans. Let's see if we can remove that. Maybe it's, rather than, again, 12 cans in a week, which is over 1 can a day, maybe we just get to that's it, 1 can a day. So now we're down to 7, okay? 7 cans in a week, okay? And after that, which is possible, that's not asking a lot, but it is possible just to keep yourself to 1 can a day if you're starting at 12. And then as you make that more consistent, then we look at months 3 through 6. We got to bridge this gap here. So we need to cut this down. Again, maybe we can do 3.5, a week, which may not make sense, but maybe 1 week you're having 3, maybe another week you're having 4. I mean, that's how you get to that half mark. So this, even though it seems like a small amount, it is actually a less amount of sugar as far as what's decreasing in months 1 through 3 to 3 to 6 versus where you started. Because again, this is about -5 cans a week, and this is minus anywhere from, again, 3 to 4 cans a week. Okay, so that gap is pretty small. Now, months 6 through 9, if you can maintain that, now you're getting down to 0. Okay, that is something that's achievable. You may find yourself having just 1, and maybe that's in a rare moment. Okay, there's different aspects of how we eat or how we ingest food. Most of it is in a social gathering. There's certain times a year, especially around the holidays or birthdays, that usually our sugar intake increases. But if this is something you've been talking about and wanting to deal with, but in the past it's been very difficult to manage, this is a very simple step-by-step way that's sustainable. Okay, you have a marked out goal, 6 to 9 months. Then from there, it's just mapping out where you're at, and then how do you get there? And so the best way to do it is just giving yourself time. Trust that you can do it, but be consistent with your efforts. There's a few things that you're going to see with sugar benefits itself is you're going to see a considerable amount of decrease in your weight. You're going to see an actual increase in your energy. You're going to sleep better as well. And on top of that, a fun fact about sugar is actually the sugar, and I'm talking about the white stuff that's processed and refined, there is a receptor in your spine that actually will, when it senses a sugar molecule, that sugar molecule will go and attach itself to the spine or to the disc. So this is why we're seeing more spinal issues in children, because their sugar intake is gross or such at a high level in comparison to adults when they were kids and grandparents when they were kids. So it's definitely something that here's a great way just to be able to assess, what is one small thing that is loaded with sugar and how can you get down to 0. So that's the big board. And it's definitely something that, again, whenever we consult with people about their lifestyle, and that's what we do when we work with clients, there's always something that's actually getting in the way from them actually achieving some of their goals, which for a lot of people that we see, it's just being active. And as they start entering maybe their 40s or 50s, now they really are starting to think twice about their diet, because they're seeing their parents age, and they're seeing the struggles that their bodies are going through, and they're doing their best to maintain their own personal longevity and independence and strength. So little things like this can absolutely go a long way, but it takes time. So the examples I gave were just one small diet change and one small steps in order to be a little bit more fit, or be spending a little bit more time in the gym. So that way you can create an entire healthy lifestyle change. So, if these tips aren't working for you, don't give up. Okay, just start again, be consistent, do the best you can. Make sure you write your goals down, and make sure you see it through, because it's easy to give up. But I'll be honest, small changes like this can absolutely go a long way for your long-term health, because being sick, unfortunately, is expensive. It is very expensive to go through test after hospital visit, labs, and eventually, if it has to come down to procedures, those are really big expenses. And 70% of all of those diseases that eventually may happen are actually rooted in lifestyle. So what you're choosing to do on a daily basis is very powerful for your current and long-term health. But if again, the tips aren't helping, this is where we step in. We can help. We can step in for those who are continuing to be on a healthier path of life. But as I mentioned, chronic pain or an injury, which is very common to see when starting a new, and if you're very intense as far as your New Year's resolution, if that injury has derailed your progress, again, this is where we can help you get back on track, and you can be a part of the 20% that reached their 2023 New Year's resolutions. So I'd love for you to just give me a call. You can text, or actually one of the links in our bio, you can actually schedule and use one of our online scheduling systems to find a convenient time for you. Again, my name is Dr. Greg Beenken, the owner and chiropractor of Northwood Chiropractic and Wellness. We're here to help others overcome chronic pain and injuries and set them on a healthier path of life. So this episode was all about trying to be that 20% and working to achieve your New Year's resolution, health and fitness goals.